Welcome back to IT Master. This is part 2 of our Advanced AI Sidebar series. In part 1, we built the static layout. But today, in part 2, we are taking this project to the next level. We are going to code a real-time, ChatGPT-Style streaming text effect from scratch, using nothing but pure CSS and vanilla JavaScript. Let's upgrade your portfolio and code this now. Let's get into it. I've split the project into 3 files, index.html for structure, style.css for design, and script.js for behavior. Keeping these separate isn't just tidiness, it keeps the project maintainable as it grows. The HTML links the style sheet in the head and loads the script right before the closing body tag. Building the HTML. We start with the standard HTML5 doc type and set the language to English. Inside the head, 2 meta tags matter most, UTF-8 for character encoding, and a viewport tag so the page behaves on phones and tablets as well as desktops. Add a page title, then link the external CSS, no point cramming hundreds of lines of styling into the HTML file itself. In the body, the first thing we build is the floating AI button, with the ID AI trigger. We'll hook into this from both CSS and JS. It holds an SVG icon rather than a PNG. SVG stay sharp at any size, which is why most modern interfaces default to them. Right now the button does nothing. JavaScript will bring it to life shortly. Next comes the sidebar container. Think of it as the shell for everything the chatbot does. Inside it, a header with a title, AI Streaming Agent, and a close button, each with their own IDs for later use in JavaScript. A chat feed, which starts with just one welcome message. JavaScript will handle inserting every message after that, no need to handwrite each one in HTML. An input area with a text field, placeholder, type a prompt here, autocomplete turned off since prompts are rarely repeated text, and a send button, again using an SVG icon for consistency. Outside the sidebar, we drop in a large, streaming UI, heading as a purely decorative background element. It just gives the landing page some visual weight before the sidebar opens. That's the full HTML skeleton: a button, a sidebar, a chat area, an input section, and a decorative backdrop. Now let's make it look like something. Styling with CSS. Open the page right now and it's rough, an unstyled button, a shapeless sidebar, no layout to speak of. Expected, HTML only gives a structure. CSS is next. We start with a universal reset, stripping default margin and padding, since browsers don't agree on these, and set box sizing, border box everywhere, so padding and borders no longer throw off element sizing. A clean sans serif font finishes the base setup. For the body, a dark background, easier on the eyes, and it makes colorful UI elements pop, white text for contrast, full viewport height, and Flexbox to center the decorative content. We hide overflow too, since the sidebar will later slide in and we don't want stray scroll bars. The floating button gets position, fixed so it stays put regardless of scroll, tucked 30px from the bottom and right edges. A purple to cyan gradient gives it some depth instead of a flat color, rounded to a full circle with border radius, 50%, and a soft purple glow via box shadow to draw the eye. A hover transition makes it scale up smoothly rather than snapping, a small touch, but it's these details that make an interface feel finished. The sidebar is the centerpiece. It's fixed to the top right corner, full height, 380px wide, enough room for a real conversation without swallowing the whole page. Instead of a solid background, we use a semi-transparent dark fill combined with backdrop filter, blur, which produces the glassmorphism effect. It blurs whatever's behind the panel rather than just coloring it. A subtle border and shadow finish the look. By default the sidebar sits off-screen via transform, translate X, 100%. A cubic Bezier transition, smoother than the default ease curve, animates it into view when we later add an active class that flips the transform to translate x, 0. CSS does all the animating here. JavaScript's only job will be toggling a class. The header uses justify content, space between to push the title left and the close button right, with padding and a bottom border to separate it from the chat feed. The close button starts muted gray and brightens to white on hover, simple, but enough to signal it's clickable. The chat feed uses Flex, 1 to fill the remaining space and scrolls vertically as messages accumulate. We also restyle the scroll bar itself, thin, rounded, and much less jarring than the browser default. For the chat bubbles, every message shares a base.message class, padding, rounded corners, readable text, a fade-in on entry, then splits into two variants, AI messages left aligned on a semi-transparent background, user messages right aligned in bright purple. The color and alignment difference is what lets someone scan a conversation at a glance, the same trick every chat app uses. The typing cursor comes from a colon, after pseudo-element rather than an extra HTML tag, a blinking cyan bar that appears after AI messages while they're typing, driven by a keyframe animation. The input area gets a top border to separate it from the chat feed, Flexbox so the text field expands while the send button stays fixed size, and a focus within selector that highlights the whole input container, not just the field, when you click in. The send button matches the floating button's purple, keeping the color language consistent throughout. Two keyframe animations tie it together, fade in 4 messages sliding up into view, and blink for the cursor. Last touch, the decorative background heading gets reduced opacity and pointer events, none so it stays out of the way of actual interaction. At this point the interface looks the part, gradients, glassmorphism, custom bubbles, a glowing button, smooth hovers. Click the button, though, and nothing happens yet. HTML gives us structure, CSS gives us design, JavaScript is what makes it respond. Adding JavaScript. First step, grab references to everything we'll need to control, the trigger button, sidebar, close button, chat feed, input field, and send button, using document.getElementById, and storing each in a variable. Cheaper than querying the DOM every time we need one of these elements. Next, an AI replies array holding a handful of stand-in responses. We're not wired up to an actual model yet, so when the user sends a message, we'll pull a random entry from this array instead, enough to make the interface feel alive without a real backend. Swapping this out for a genuine API call later is the obvious next step. For the floating button, we attach a click listener. When it fires, we add the active class to the sidebar, which, remember, is what flips the transform and triggers the slide in, and shrink the floating button down to scale, 0, rather than deleting it outright, so it smoothly disappears using the transition already defined in CSS. The close button works the same way in reverse. Remove active from the sidebar, it slides back out, scale the floating button back to 1, it grows back into view. Worth noting, JavaScript isn't doing any animation here. It's just toggling classes and letting CSS handle the motion. Keeping behavior and presentation separate like this pays off as a project grows. Now the centerpiece, stream text. This function takes an element and a message, then walks through the message one character at a time using set interval. Every 30 milliseconds, another character gets appended, giving that letter-by-letter typing effect you'll recognize from most AI products. While it's running, we keep the chat scroll to the bottom and toggle a typing class, which is what triggers the blinking cursor in CSS. Once the last character lands, the interval clears and the cursor disappears. Handle send message ties the conversation together. It reads the input value, trims white space, and bails out early if the field is empty, no blank messages allowed. Otherwise, it creates a new element for the user's message, clears the input, and scrolls to the bottom. Then, after a short set timeout, just enough of a pause to feel like the AI is thinking, it creates an AI message element, picks a random reply from AI replies, and hands it off to stream text, instead of dropping it in all at once. Last step, wire up the events. A click listener on the send button calls handle send message, and a key down listener on the input field does the same when enter is pressed, so people can use whichever feels natural. Testing it out. Save everything, refresh the browser. The button glows on the landing page, clicking it slides the sidebar into view. Type something, "Hello AI, how are you today?" Hit enter or click send, and the message shows up on the right. A beat later, the AI's reply starts typing itself out character by character, cursor blinking, chat auto-scrolling to keep up. That's the whole loop working end to end. And that's a working AI streaming sidebar, built from scratch with plain HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, Glassmorphism styling, animated chat bubbles, a real streaming text effect, dynamically generated messages, autoscroll, and keyboard shortcuts included. Next time, we'll rip out those placeholder replies and connect this to a real model, OpenAI's API or Gemini's, so it's an actual conversation instead of a simulation. If this was useful, a like and a subscribe helps a lot. More HTML, CSS, JS, and AI interface builds coming to IT Master. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.